mouse evaded him one more time.
Oh boy.
Good morning and welcome to Sunday service, guys. How are you doing? Praise be the almighty Bitcoin, or whatever that might be for you. I hope you had a good weekend. It is Sunday, so things are about to get rolling. Good morning, Marco. Hope you are doing well. Fantastic. I am here with my morning communion. If you have a cup of coffee, I suggest you join me for the community sip. Of course, some of you are probably in the evenings and enjoying limoncello. Good morning, Rossley. Hope you are well. So good. So good. I live on coffee for some reason. I really do. It's been a good weekend for me. Always working. I haven't really even been paying attention to the charts, which is great because we've been in what appears to be a very lackluster, boring weekend. Go figure. Good morning, Mark. Gotta go make coffee. Yeah, I'm. This is people comment how big this mug is. It's huge, and it's probably like the size of 2.5 regular coffee mugs. And I usually do 2 or 3 of these every morning. Already afternoon, but coffee is timeless. That is the truth, Philip. I'd be on probably my 8th cup of coffee if it was afternoon where you are, I'm sure. Especially a Sunday. I hope the weather is nice where everyone is because it really does improve the mood. There's nothing like beautiful weather while you're dealing with the uncertainties of this crazy market. Already nighttime in Asia. Yeah, it is. Well, it's already almost the next morning in Asia, depending on what part of Asia you're in. I do think we all live off of coffee, Teresa. Truthfully, I really do. And, Belgium. Belgium's very nice. I need to get to Europe. I need to do some traveling in Europe. I've done parts of Eastern Europe. I've done Romania and Russia. I've also done Korea and Japan. But yeah, I need to get to Europe. When I'm not shooting, I was seeing these pictures of Norway the other day, and I was like, I really want to go to Norway. I really do. I think it'd be beautiful. It's rainy and humid in Hong Kong. Isn't it always rainy and humid in Hong Kong? Oh, no, that's London. It's London that's always gray. Good afternoon, Philip. Good to see you. Yes, so it's been kind of an okay week. All those people got wrecked on Friday with I've heard reports now that it was a 3.2 billion liquidation, but also I remember the original articles were all saying about a $4 billion liquidation. So, what can you say? These people are crazy. I wouldn't do that sort of stuff. That's not me. Especially on a Sunday. Gosh, it's beautiful. Anywho, so without further ado, let's get this rocking and rolling. I have like all my little control things. I wish I had like a control surface. I need to look and see if they're doing that yet. Doing control surfaces. Let's blast this open. Usual disclaimer ahead of time. I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Go see a financial advisor if you're looking for financial advice. Something like that. So let's look at the most pertinent one. So this is our Bitcoin May. Welcome to May, guys. If I didn't see you on Friday for Friday service, we are now in May. If you need to pull that chart up on your trading view, you can go over to adding that as the BTCK, K as in Kelly, 2021. That is the May CME chart. And we do have definitely 2 gap areas that we're looking to fill. One of them is between 59 and almost 6,500. And another one we've got, which is more recent, is between 56,995. So about 57,000 all the way up to basically almost 60,000. So we really do have this kind of large gap area which will need to be filled. And I really personally, I have no strong care about CME, but you'll hear everyone talking about it, and everyone generally agrees that that somehow gets filled, and those are definitely a gap. This one I have more questions about actually being a gap, the one between 59 and almost 61, because some earlier movement covered that. But, they always try to explain things away. And I think at this point, looking at our price movements, we're definitely not going to be creating any issues for ourselves. We're currently at 56,800, and the gap started on Friday starts at 57,525. So obviously we're going to come in under that gap, and hopefully Asia, our good friend Rosley, hopefully Asia will blast us all the way up through 60, 61 would be nice. We definitely looked like we had the momentum going into it. On our lovely MACD, we are looking kind of nice. We've got some green showing up there, and that should hopefully push our momentum up further. We recently did a cross over on the 30th or thereabouts. I do stay on the 4-hour charts and the day charts because I don't like going crazy, and you guys shouldn't like going crazy either. Please do not drop below the 1 hours at least. If you really want fast movement, go 1 hour. Don't drop below that unless you're trying to snipe a sell. Sniping a sell, I will drop down to like 5 or 1 minute. And I do like my Heiken Ashies. The Heiken Ashies make me a lot less nervous. So we're looking pretty good. People have been comparing our movement. I'm going to go to the daily to movement that was happening, and we're going to move over to the actual charts. That was happening way at the beginning of 2021. They're saying we're closer over here to how things are moving. So, and you can really see that when you go over to percent of supply and profit. We recently really dropped as far down as we had been in October with the supply and profit. And when you really compare that, that's like today we're worth 50,000, and at that point it was 82% of supply and profit. And way back in October, the price was about 10,000. So we've given ourselves a lot of headroom. I mean, that's relatively a 5x move that we have now freed up some ability to move into, which would be great because according to the supply to flow, the stock to flow ratio, we have about a 5x move to snap onto the new stock to flow line, which is approximately $250,000, which we should be coming close to sometime around September. That is awesome, isn't it? Hey, guys, we've got some great viewers. Thank you. And do drop comments into the comment field. Smash up the like button. Why does everyone say smash up the like button? It gives me these visions of people like banging on their keyboard for some reason. Yeah, that's fun. Banging on their keyboard. Let me pull up Discord real quick. And it's Alfie. Hey, man. It's 5:50 a.m. where I live. Luckily, I'm an early riser. Would completely miss this gem. Well, thank you for calling me a gem. I do appreciate that. I live down south. I understand. A gem is a good thing. Yeah, so stock to flow has us around 250 before we go into the correction of this bear cycle, which is awesome. Smashed it! I need a new keyboard now. Hey, Shell. Awesome. That's awesome. And make sure, I mean, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'm going to be doing Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays going forward. It's going to be a little different for me because at the beginning of the pandemic, I was doing kind of a morning show on my Facebook page for people and talking about all sorts of utter nonsense. And this gives me focus, and I like having focus, which is cool. So back stock to flow. Yeah, we're supposed to be hitting the stock to flow of about 250. That is the new stock to flow. Would September be closed to the end of the bull cycle then? So what generally happens, and we will just keep talking about this, is that you go parabolic as you're reaching the end of the bull cycle. And so what it did last time around is we hit close to the stock to flow, which was about, as you can see here, 7,800, 8,000, and it went parabolic and took us all the way up to that day. It went to 20,000 or close to 20,000 basically. And then it snaps back down underneath the stock to flow, and it'll move under the stock to flow for a while before it does what is referred to as a dead cat bounce, and it fakes everyone out, making it think it's going into a bull market again. And that happens about 2 years later, 1 to 2 years later. You can see how that happened back in 2019. We had a dead cat bounce. It took us all the way up to about 12,000 before we snapped back down again. And then we started moving up like nuts. And at that point, this market will go up, will go over the 250 likely, and we should go parabolic. They're saying we should go parabolic quite a bit. This is where when you're, hey, Al Bavi, this is where when you're seeing everyone saying we're going to go to 350, we're going to go to 750, that's really what they're talking about, is the top of the bull cycle, and after that we will be snapping back down underneath and at and about the stock to flow line, which puts us at 250 for the next few years. I think very likely we'll be bouncing between a couple of numbers for the next couple of years, and those numbers, like anything for Bitcoin over 100,000, I'd be pretty hazy about, because there's a good chance we could snap down that far. I don't personally think we'll be snapping back down to 50 again anytime soon, but it could happen. I mean, a lot of things happen in this market. We're pretty common to have 80% corrections near the end, so who knows what could happen. It could be pretty exciting, which is fun. Just make sure that anything over the original stock to flow. So you're dealing with two stock to flows. This is the new model, the X model, which takes us to 250. When I go to Glassnode is, of course, on-chain metrics, where you can see all sorts of fun things. The original stock to flow, that's the deflection. There we go. Stock to flow ratio had us at about 100,000 this market. And I'll just open that up a little bit. So original stock to flow had us about 100,000. So for me, anything getting up and towards 100,000 will be just like, all right, ride this for a little bit, and then let's open some fiat up. And that this one has us going parabolic sometime around May, June. So you can kind of see how these things, they grow, they change a bit. It depends on who you're really following when it comes to this. I didn't even know you were live. Hey, Bois, hope you are well, sir. Hope you are doing well. So, yeah, the end of the bull cycle could be September, October. It does usually take a while to kind of work its way out. Let's look at deflection. Deflection is a really good way of looking at that, and we're going to look at the last 5 years. So what happened last time is we did our parabolic run, which you can see right there, and we hit all the way up there to nearly 20,000. And then that's December 19th, kind of mid-December, we trailed off until the next October. So almost a year's worth of trailing down and off and cooling down. The market did take some time to cool down. Snapped under stock to flow quite a ways, and then we did our dead cat bounce over the top of it and then snapped down quite a ways before we are where we are now. And you can kind of see how we are really far deflected right now. We're 0.57 deflected. Last time we were that far deflected was sometime around October of 2020. Again, we're hitting those October numbers, and you can really see, like, this is all of the price movement we've had since October, which is really awesome to see. Good to hear, Bois, that you're doing well. So yeah, that's we've opened ourselves up quite a bit of headroom. Percent of supply and profit has been bouncing around. We popped back up. This is nowhere near the danger zone at this point. We've got quite a bit of headroom to work our way out. I'm kind of targeting the next push is going to take us way over 60, hopefully to about 80 or thereabouts, is 70, 80 probably when we do our next. And what we're going to be looking for that next dip, that next correction, is the percent of supply and profit to be jumping to 100%. You can see it right here. When we do hit 100%, this is what we'll probably do next time, something like this. We'll hit 100%, do a small little dip, 100%, and kind of work our way up until it really just, the steam is out of the system, and then we'll do a correction. I think we still probably have at least one, if not two more corrections inside of us to do these 20, 30% dips. Hey, it's just how this market works. We get used to it. What is this? 0 likes? No one's liked my video? Come on. No love? What is this? All right. So, yeah, there you go. That's percent of supply and profit. The SOPR, our spent output profit ratio, is looking pretty healthy. We did bounce underneath it and bounced onto the one. Boom, boom. And that is a good sign that we're about to have our upward momentum. It's tough when this sort of stuff happens on a Friday, when it happens at the end of the month. All of this sort of stuff tends to suppress the market a bit. But hey, Ethereum is moving like a bat out of HE double hockey stick. We said that when I was growing up. It's all love. There you go. Thank you, guys. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Ethereum is moving like a bat out of HE double hockey stick. Holy cow. Look at that thing move. Last few days, it's just been up, 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 up. It is really going to be pushing $3,000, and it's going to be pushing it hard. And we did a bounce up against the 2950 yesterday. Hey, Justin, how are you doing? Like, now feeling better? I am feeling better. I'm feeling the love. Thank you so much. So focused that there's no time to click the thumb. Hey, 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 Justin, that's true. So, yeah, bouncing, it's great. I mean, we'll probably test it once, probably test it again, and hopefully go over it. Of course, if we do not go over it, then we're going to probably bounce down. This is where the support is. We have support from the swing low to the swing high, somewhere between 2,200 and 2,400, which is nice to see. And I'm going to zoom in kind of here. And I love how everything gets in the way. We have, and this is my fib retracement, swing high, swing low. And you can see we are really bouncing right there inside of. I love when the auto does that. That's it. Turn auto off. There we go. We're bouncing inside of the area we created the other day. Swing high, swing low. We are trying this little channel out at the moment. We're going to need to bounce above it. That's a 786-618. If you guys have never set one of these up before, to set up the fib retracement, it is the second tool over here, and you got to go all the way down to fib retracement, and then once you're, what am I doing? I'm writing another one. There we go. You click the gear icon, and we do the 618 and the 786. And those are the only two you really need to have clicked. I do extend lines to the right just so that I can kind of keep seeing where things are going. And then you draw high, low, low highs. And that is a good way of putting your channels in. I've got two set up right now over on the Bitcoin chart. And we're going to go out to daily where I look like poo at the moment. There we go. And yeah, this was two different swing highs, swing lows that I'm tracking. And you can see how we're really kind of actually moving between those two different channels right now. We need to test this and actually get out of the 58,000 area before we can get into that channel and hopefully bust above that within the next couple of days. That's all we want. What's your opinion on what George said about Bitcoin futures ending at the end of the month that causes the correction? We didn't really have a correction as much as we were suppressed for a few days. And if you really kind of dig into those charts on the 4 hour, you can see how we really just went between like 52,000 and 55,000. And he's right. I'm really with George on this one. They were suppressing the price and they were trying to hit the point of max pain, which they did. They caused a load of liquidations. It's not listed on the Bitcoin liquidations because it's a different type of thing. I've got to find who lists that. But you can see, like, when these sort of things happen, like we had a $10 billion liquidation on the 17th in the middle of the month. I don't know why the end of the month is not showing up here, but that's this is over on Bybit, bybt.com, and they have a button where you can check out liquidations, and they kind of list who's being liquidated, when they're being liquidated. Kind of fun little thing to look at, especially when you're not the one who's trading with leverage. Because if you're one trading with leverage, then you're the one being liquidated. So don't trade with leverage for your own sake. You're causing your trouble. Is this a monthly thing? Yes, it goes on every month. And about every 2 weeks, we have some form. I think the next big one coming up that I've been hearing about is June. They're talking a lot about June. So that one is supposed to be another $10 billion liquidation. I don't even have access to leverage trading. Thank you, New York City. We could go into that. That would be me ranting and raving from the top of the pulpit. That's for sure. Yeah, Cardano has been really stable, and I've got nothing to complain about Cardano. Cardano's dominance is low at the moment at 2%. Dominance is a good way of spotting when there are run-ups like that are going to be happening, because the dominance starts popping and then the price starts popping. Cardano's at $1.33. I mean, it is really in this channel right now. It is really moving between $1.30 and $1.42. And I've got no real complaints about that. Honestly, those are movements, and if you're watching and you don't do the algorithmic bot trading over on Crypto Hopper, those are the movements we make the most money on, because that is a tasty little 7% move. So the bot grabs it, hopefully, as close to the bottom of that channel as possible, and then sells at the top. If you want to do it yourself, you can see that that is a good point to put in your buys, and the good sell point is when it's popping up about $1.41, $1.40, and you've got some decent moves in there to do. I do not do manual trading anymore for obvious reasons, that this market is 24/7. So it really helps having an algorithmic bot to go in there and get things popping. We are all members of the DexStrats channel, and it really is. And I've got yeah, no, we're going to not have that open. Yeah, so this is a paper trading bot, and it is, yeah, is a paper trading bot. This is trying out the shorting feature right now, and it is actually doing 4%. I do not suggest doing the shorting. Yeah, I love DexStrats. So whales are making so much money from this marketplace manipulation each month. Yeah, they are. They're trying to steal your Bitcoin. They really are trying to steal your Bitcoin. So this is my attempt at figuring out how the shorting feature works, which appears to be more like a grid trading bot. And it seems to do well when Bitcoin is off to the races and altcoins are lagging. And the altcoins are predominantly lagging right now. For some reason, it happens. Bitcoin dominance is way down. So Bitcoin base bots do fairly decently when the Bitcoin dominance is way down. 49%. We've been kind of bouncing around really low. And this historically is way lower than we usually are at this point in the market. Ethereum dominance is off to the races and getting ready to really pop. Maybe could pop up to those 17% areas where it did last time. It did a full big push and a run. And dominance is a great chart to look at when you're watching things going off to the races, because that gives you a very good idea that, yes, we are in fact off to the races. Yay. What do you think about Dex developing strategies for shorting? Do you know how that will work? I don't know how that's going to work. I am seeing that it does work in certain situations. I am also seeing that it does not work consistently in other situations, and it is a fairly complicated set of configurations. I don't know if you've ever looked at it. And this is, again, not real money. This is fake money I'm working with on this one. You should never set things up that you don't understand how they work until you've played with fake money. Yeah, it has a lot of settings. I'm not totally certain which ones should and should not be used. It doesn't really explain them well. There's no videos that really explain them well, and you can't really do live trading and try it out. So at the moment, with market conditions where Bitcoin seems to be pushing but has low dominance, and Ethereum is going as well, the shorting bot has seemed to be working. I also have a Bitcoin base bot, which does not have shorting on it. It has real money in it, and that is currently not doing so hot because, obviously, with Bitcoin off to some form of the races and altcoins kind of lagging behind, it will obviously outrun the altcoin prices and therefore not do so well. Yeah. Let's see here. Love Crypto Hopper 2 until their signals stop updating on a Friday night and nobody's there to address the issue. Had to switch my Hero Hopper to Scalping Strat till they fixed the issue. Yeah, we did not really have the issue on the Scalper. I'm sorry to hear about these issues. I know they are trying to handle these issues. I know they're working away at it. I think sometimes we have some language difficulties expressing ourselves on either end. They position themselves as a mom and pop shop. I know they've had something like 25% of members of all time join within the last 2 months, so they likely have not had enough time to really spin up their development team. I feel bad for them in some ways, but in other ways, it's like if you're selling the shovels for the gold rush, you better make sure those shovels are working. Otherwise, there's going to be some pretty peed off miners. Really peed off miners. And I understand both sides on that one. And I think make sure we maintain respect. We do depend on the product to keep things going. If the product does not, then we're going to be pretty peed off even further. And just imagine these positions. And I know it does feel like you have a gun held to your head, but imagine these positions without something tracking them and some of them still being a ways down from the previous correction. Yeah, I'm glad they finally got some announcement out. Hopefully they do improve their communication like they're saying they want to. I hope they do too. And welcome to the stream, Dodi Dodo 33. Thank you for joining us. It's tough, but we need to make sure that we do not put the strategy we work with in the firing line. And they have shown in the past, and there's things I'm not at liberty to talk about, but they've shown in the past to not have issues with threatening to cancel things. So let's just keep our heads cool, and I promise that we will have alternatives at some point. This market, with how it's going, people are going to see how much money there is, and there will be alternatives. Yep, I hope they look for the hires. I hope they get a bigger development team. If I was looking for work, I'd offer my development services. Well, yeah, I get that, Mark. Oh, Caffeine Near. Oh, cool. Awesome. That's cool. Thank you for joining me over here. Do you think new smart contracts are worth developing considering they won't be bullish forever? Well, smart contracts, the idea is that they're going to be used in all business settings. Smart contracts are the future. Smart contracts are going to be just an absolutely amazing development for business. 24/7 business. 24/7 business. I know people got kind of bearish about Tesla selling its Bitcoin the other day, but what they proved was 24/7 liquidity, something we don't have. You can't 24/7 just send money to a chip factory in China. You have to do it under your time zone. You have to do it under their time zone. You have to make sure the money, 5-7 days later, they don't have the money. Things get slowed up, but now we're going to have 24/7 liquidity. That's going to be a huge thing for big business. And as they talk about it more at their summits, which we all know, their little Davos summits, they're all going to be jumping on board. That's just the way it is. This is the future. Get used to it. When you're getting into smart contracts, you're going to be dealing with Ethereum, Cardano. I'm sure there will be others. There's going to be space for a lot of different companies to use these. And there's already the technology to wrap between each of these different tokens and such. So there's going to be a lot of interoperability. I think different regions of the world are going to use different things. It looks like right now Africa is going to be using Cardano. That's fantastic. There's some great news out of Ethiopia. There's going to be some great news out of more countries in Africa. And we're talking about a lot of unbanked people. It's a big market in Africa. There's a lot of people in this world who do not have easy access to their funds, and it's going to be a beautiful world. It really is. I'm so excited. You love your job, yeah. Crypto is the greatest invention since the internet. Crypto is likely the greatest invention since the florin. Seriously. This is the first evolution in monetary policy we have had since the florin. Since the first fiat IOU. Yeah. Isn't that insane? I mean, seashells to gold to floor. I mean, it just... There are so many people who talk about this stuff and get into the history of money, and you should really, like, read up on it and get excited about it. I mean, this is like owning POP3 or SMTP or, like, owning HTTP. Like, seriously, that's the world we're in. It's kind of insane. I've dabbled with crypto a few years back as a student, but now finally looking into it and having some room to invest, loving the green numbers showing again. Yeah, and don't feel late. No one should feel late to the party. The party hasn't even gotten started yet. I was supposed to turn off the preferences for notifications. Go figure. Hey, I got to make my BAT, guys. Come on, I got to make my basic attention token, so it's got to give me some ads. Yeah. We're at the beginning of it relatively. We are so at the beginning of it. This is like email in 1985, 1987. This is like Amazon when Bezos was considering selling books, let alone half the products the world operates on. We have plenty of time. This bull cycle is like the top 1-5% of people who are getting involved. And once we move to the next bull cycle, the adoption is going to be... I think next bull cycle is the major adoption cycle. We're going to hear a lot of great things that come out, a lot of announcements this cycle. Next cycle is the time when these things really, really start getting off to the races. I mean, we already have a load of big companies who are involved. So, yeah, through the roof. It's amazing. It really is. So that's dominance. Anyone have any weird poop coins you want me to talk about? I do talk about poop coins periodically. What do we usually look at? We usually look at some poop like Vet. Let's see what Vet's up to. I haven't looked at that in a few days. I don't have access to it. I may grab some. I have ways, but yeah, it's consolidating. That's not bad. That's not poop. That's nice consolidation. BBT. What the heck is BBT, soccer baller? Welcome to the stream. BBT, it's on Uniswap. BBTC. What the heck does this thing do? Ew, that is poopy. What is it? Pundi X? Binance. Don't they have like a new symbol? Don't they have some weird new symbol? Yeah, that is looking... I mean, they had a little pop here. So just track whether this line starts heading back down here. If we're going to do a swing high to swing low, swing high. If it starts dropping underneath this, then you really need to start getting concerned. I mean, there's quite a channel there for it to operate in, but I don't know that it's going to pop all the way up there again anytime soon. It doesn't look that healthy. I'm just going to save that so I've got that around. Another really poopy thing, File, which really faked us all out. It looks like it's consolidating. I had some bags of File sitting around for quite a while, so hopefully this consolidates and at least gets us back up into this zone again, back around the 195 area. And it looks like it's knocking at the door of the 0.618. It looks like it's trying to knock at that door. So swing high, swing low. Yeah. I misspelled. It's all right. BTT. Oh, the isn't that what is that? Torrent? Yeah, isn't that the torrent token thing? BTT, BitTorrent. Yeah, thought so. I remember when I used to download music off that. Yeah, that's doing the same kind of consolidation pattern. The major concern is whether that is, of course, going to actually start knocking at that door, which it is not knocking at the 618 yet. It's got a ways to get up there. That is decent consolidation. You want these lows to continue getting higher. The higher highs don't necessarily need to happen as much as those lows need to make sure they're staying stable and going up, because that becomes a consolidation pattern. And I could believe that this is kind of consolidating. I could believe that. It's just, it looks like it's in a wedge. Definitely looks like it's in a wedge. It definitely looks like it's coming towards the end of that wedge. So watch out for it. There could be definitely a pullback. It could go pop down, pull back, or pop up and throw back down onto this line still. And we're on the 4 hour. So that's a few days of movement to see whether it's going to stick around doing that or not. And I would be very concerned if, see, we got a high, our big old all-time high there. This being lower, if there is another lower pop before it starts consolidating again, that thing is total poop. And this is really looking like poop at the moment because things are generally sloping in a downward way. Cage coin. Holy cow. Oh, okay. It was relisted as NPX. Yeah, that's right. PundiX is... Projects really need to be careful about the rebranding, because then people don't know where to look for it. They don't know what ticker symbol to use. They don't know what's going on. Speaking of ticker symbols, Potcoin is over 4 cents now. It's had a 400% move in the last year. It wasn't even worth a cent. I need it to be worth a bit more, though, because I bought it when Rodman was pitching it. Yes, I bought something because Dennis Rodman was... I thought it was a good marketing move. Give me a break. Sorry to ask again, what do you think about the recent German news about institutional investment? Did you think it will help the market and maybe other countries follow such a thing? What did they say? I've been kind of with my head in the sand for the last couple of days. Was it a Bitcoin Direct announcement? I am not seeing news on Binance's stock offering. It's the Binance stock offering. I mean, the space is going to evolve, and you're either on board or you're not. You're either on board, the train is leaving the station, or you're not, and you're running after it. And at this point, the politicians are running after it. The train's gone. Stock offerings will be happening on Binance. BNB, if you can get a hold of it, I can't, is obviously a very good chain. There's a lot of transactions happening on it. There's a lot of great things you can do over there on Binance. I don't have access to it. I'm not allowed it. Yay, I live in New York City. So, good for you guys. Take advantage of what you can. Yes, Mr. Soccer. I think I got everyone. Cagecoin, did they really have a Cagecoin? There's 6,000 projects, guys. I don't see Cagecoin. Yeah, no symbols. There's no symbols. I think there's going to be a lot of celebrities who are going to jump onto the NFT craze. Be full aware that the NFTs may not be around after this bull cycle. They may be totally gone in their current form, and buying an NFT does not indicate it's going to continue being worth that much money. The only people who are going to make money off NFTs are the people who are releasing them and selling them. That's it. If you can't sell the NFT you got, if you bought something, then I hope you treasure it as an heirloom, because these prices may not go back up that far again. New legislation permits wealth and institutional investment fund managers to invest as much as 20% of their portfolio in cryptocurrencies. The law is set to come into effect on July 1st. That's awesome. What was the previous level? Do you know what that previous level was, Christian? And thanks for joining the stream, and thank you for engaging and being involved. Have you thought of moving? Yes, Justin. I have thought of moving at this point. We're already midway into a bull cycle, so spending a month moving just would not make any sense at the moment. But I probably will not be living in this state the next time we come into a bull cycle 4 years from now. I'm looking at several options. Probably go over to the West Coast. Probably join our moderator from DexStrats, Tyan, over on the West Coast. I do love the West Coast. I lived in LA for a while, did television there, and I miss it. And I miss my friends in LA. New York has just not got the glitz and glamour it used to. Yeah, so we got that. It's a Sunday, so tonight, hopefully we get moving, and sometimes we really do get moving. I would not be surprised if we had some big moves coming in tonight and into tomorrow, but it's the crypto market, so it doesn't always do that. Currently, there are no cryptocurrencies in that. Okay, so currently they can't do it, but now they're being allowed to go 20%. I mean, that follows along a lot with what like JP Morgan Wealth Management is doing. I think JP Morgan Wealth, I think, is 5% of portfolio is going into cryptocurrency, is getting a bag in cryptocurrency. I think we're going to see a lot of funds start saying 5%, 10%, 20%. Your money is your money, and you have to decide how much you believe in it. I'm the crypto apostle. Obviously, I'm a zealot, so you can do your own assumptions about how much I've put into this market, and it's belief. When you see the future coming, when you see the train leaving the station, it's your shot to really do what you feel like doing. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. What do you think is happening with Crypto Hopper AI? Had to get the scalper set up. I am not messing with the AI. I haven't messed with the AI. I was doing quite well just scalping. So having seven different strategies working, I did not see to be a good thing, because I know at this point, after doing this for a few months, how much money I'm going to make. And I did not seem to believe I would make any extra money that would make paying that much extra for strategies to be worthwhile. If you want to do it, do it. Make sure you're talking about it in the AI chat. There are links in the descriptions of this video for the Discord group I'm talking about. If you're not doing algorithmic trading and you want to, there are links to go set that stuff up. Please, I do say join DexStrats. You can search for DexStrats in the marketplace, and that will allow you to join us and talk with us. And we've got a very helpful group. We can only provide so much support. There's only so much support we can provide. It's mainly about the strategies. We do what we can when it comes to the hoppers. Sometimes we feel like we're providing Binance support, which we can't. It's impossible. But yeah, AIs, that's kind of my thing about AI. It's a lot of extra stuff going on, and I don't see how it could be that much more money. 2 to 3% is only a big chunk of change when you're trading with $100,000. And I'm not doing that. I know there are people doing that. I would rather hold Bitcoin if I had that kind of money for the market. I would rather just buy and hold, because I would want something a bit more. I don't know. I'd be pulling my hair out. 20% moves, you've lost $20,000 off a $100,000 account. I guess some people can stomach that. I'm just kind of, I grew up in the Midwest. I'm simpler than that. Do 5 minutes versus 2 minute updates make a big difference? I got into the 2 minute updates. I like it. In the end, did I see a really, really big difference? Not really. I'll be frank, I didn't see a tremendously huge difference with scalping when I went from the lower package up to the hero package. It still did well, did 10, 15% on the good weeks, and on the bad weeks, it still went down. Maybe it sniped a couple of extras. Maybe it didn't. I do have a thing about manually selling if it gets over 3% up. on different positions. I know we all have our own strategies. Stick to your strategy. Do what you feel is right. At the end of the day, you're the one who has to wake up next to yourself. I don't have to wake up next to you. So if you do something that makes you happy, do the thing that makes you happy. I'm trading 20K, went down 4K, when it all yeah. Yeah, I get you, Justin. It goes down 20, 25%, and then it eats its way out. It does eat its way out. It will eat its way out. I think at this point, we're 3 bull cycles in to this market. I think we should all be pretty well agreed that this is not going like tulips back down to zero. It's got real use cases. How far up is it going? Are you a Max Kaiser and you think that it can go infinitely up because fiat money can go infinitely down? Or are you someone who is a bit more pragmatic and you say, okay, I could see Bitcoin maybe staying around 80,000 or 100,000, and you have trouble with the idea that next bull cycle, I'll pull up the stock to flow ratio, could be at 5 million per Bitcoin. Yeah. If you're someone who has trouble believing that, I get it. We were at 10,000 and people had trouble believing 20,000. We were at 3,000 and 300 and people had trouble believing 20,000. I get it. It sounds crazy, but things are starting to sound a lot less crazy. And I'll probably look back at these videos in 4 years and I will say, oh my gosh, we're at 1.5 million. Who would have ever thunk? Remember that by the time we get to these numbers, as an asset, there will be no reason to sell it. You'll be able to collateralize it for loans. You'll be able to collateralize it for houses. You will live a decent life. Make sure you've got some Bitcoin in your hodl, because this thing is wow. Yeah, but now 3K up. Yeah, that's the thing. Like 10%, 15%. These things move. I'm still dealing with a couple of bad decisions from 2 corrections ago. So I've been up. I've definitely been up periodically, but the whole hopper hasn't quite reset yet. And I could use a real reset. But, you know, I do the experimenting so that I can tell you about my mistakes. Mainly don't run 2, 3, 4, 5 positions of the same coin. It doesn't work very well. It's a bad idea. It's very greedy. I was being very greedy. I was being very, very greedy. Do take your profits. I skim profits. Whenever things are in profit, I skim the profits off the top. I am glad to hear of your success, Justin. And I think everyone, you know, I want everyone to be successful. I want all of you guys to be successful. This money, it's like the Renaissance. This kind of money is going to flow into crypto. Some of you guys are going to say, hey, I want to produce a movie, or I want to produce a play, or I want to produce art. And you're going to take your money and you're going to put it into other things. And it's going to be amazing. Have you ever leverage traded? No, I have not. I have not leverage traded. I will not be leverage trading in this market. Once we hit the next bull cycle, if I am no longer in New York, I will consider doing small leverage trades, maybe 3 buy, maybe 5 times. I don't think I would go any further than that. It gets to a point where your education level about where the market is, where it's going, how to kind of play the market gets to a point where you feel secure. And I'm beginning to feel a bit more secure about doing that sort of trading. I don't know that I would trade a lot of money doing it, but yeah, it's fun. Some people drink, some people gamble, some people do other things with their money. Some people spend a lot of money in online games. I played an online game where people were spending thousands of dollars a day on it. It was similar to Evany, and people spend a lot of money on those games. And that's them. Yeah, I get it. It's for your entertainment, man. It's your life. Do you think the next bull cycle will turn into a form of super cycle, or we will see market stabilization? Everything that I've heard dealing with super cycle involves education of the market. And right now, we don't have a very educated market. People, and I am not being trying to be offensive about this, but people are generally fairly naive and they panic sell a lot and they get into coins that they have not researched. And there are a lot of good looking projects right now that will not survive the bear winter very well at all. There's going to be a lot of blood in the crypto ocean. And because of the immaturity of the investors and the market, not this market, maybe next market, but the problem is that we've only got 5% of people maybe involved this time around. So next time around, we're going to be onboarding, what, 20, 30% of the world, maybe. It's a lot of money coming in and a lot of people who are going to cause it to be volatile. Also, over-the-counter trading, OTC, which the institutions do, they're able to stabilize the price a lot better doing OTC. And as the supply of Bitcoin starts moving closer and closer to zero, best thing to look at for that, of course, is exchange balance. As it moves closer and closer to zero, we're going to have a supply squeeze, and it's not going to be good. Coinbase is a great one to look at for this. Yeah, they just poop. There goes another 10,000 Bitcoin off of Coinbase, and that's going to be stabilized out. We're going to see charts that look like this for exchange balances on a lot more exchanges more frequently, because there's going to be a supply squeeze. As that supply squeeze happens, the institutions are going to have to go to the exchanges to buy. And when they do that, the volatility is going to skyrocket. We are going to see real volatile moves on a consistent basis, which are going to shake a lot of weak hands out of the market. How do you like to find new projects? I read a lot. I read Daily Hodl is one I read. I don't think I have Daily Hodl up. I read Cointelegraph. I read CoinDesk. I watch Max Kaiser, who likes to poop on all of the alt projects. He's a Bitcoin maximalist. I understand his point of view. I am somewhat of a maxi myself, but I'm a pragmatic maxi who understands that there was Alta Vista before there was Internet Explorer, and there was Internet Explorer before there was Firefox, and then Chrome, and now Brave. I understand that there will be more projects and projects that do really well. There's a big market for everyone. I understand that there was a Backstreet Boys before there was an NSYNC, and I understand that there was a New Kids on the Block before there was a Backstreet Boys. And if you understand that, you know that, okay, Bitcoin's going to serve its purpose, Ethereum's going to serve its purpose, Cardano is going to serve its purpose. Some of these others are going to serve their purpose too. Maybe I'm not going to get involved in them. Maybe my basket is not going to have the equivalent of energy stocks, or maybe I will be energy stock heavy because that's what I believe in and I understand. It's your money. You should put it where you have projects you believe in. Sorry, not find meant fund. Oh, where do you like to fund new projects? That's two different people. If you were looking to fund a large private infrastructure project funded, raising on crypto, how do you think that could be done? Smart contracts through Ethereum, Cardano would be a portion of it. At one point, I did a flow model. Maybe I'll bring that up on tomorrow for the live stream. I did a flow model of how many coins at the time were necessary to finance a film and make sure that the investors were paid off and everything else. It's somewhat old information at this point because now you can swap in and out of tokens. And I think the smart contracts could handle more than just one thing. So the sky's the limit. You could literally crowdfund using some form of an ICO for a film. Then you could use tokens to make sure that it was decentralized in storage, that people were getting paid. You could use NFT tickets for people to watch the decentralized film. And you could have smart contracts set up so that your investors were getting paid. And everything could be relatively automated. You would take it from needing to have a staff to manage the distributor down to just having smart contracts handling most, if not everything, which is really, really neat. I have heard of helium mining. I have read about it. I think it is really neat. This, Justin, helium is something, if you want to look at infrastructure type projects, this is something you should look into. They are doing a public Wi-Fi, basically like a public internet access points, and that helps you mine helium. Now they're also putting out 5G antennas. I was looking into that. I'm in New York City, so it's like, wow, if I could put a 5G antenna on. But the prices and things, and I don't know what the value I'd be able to get back would be if I were to spend real money on putting something like that up. I think it's a great idea. I think that infrastructure like 5G should definitely be public funded, should be publicly crowdfunded. I mean, everyone should be able to put up a 5G tower if that's what they want to do, and put it up on their building if they own the building. Just think how fast we would be able to update infrastructure. You spend $5,000 on the antenna and you've made that back within however amount of time, and then you decide to upgrade to 6G or 7G. And you are the one who gets to pick and push infrastructure being updated instead of some company. And maybe things will be more modular in the future. Maybe it'll be easier to update things. Yeah. So that's where we are. It's Sunday, guys. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weather. Get outside. Move around. I'm talking about building an oil pipeline. I'm not a Nigerian prince. Oh, Justin. Will big businesses decide to finance oil pipelines using ICOs? Will we be using oil pipelines much longer? These are questions for someone who works in the energy market, really. I wouldn't put money into an oil pipeline. That's just me. I'm pretty sure there are other people who would see that there is benefit and they would do it. I don't think that's where the world is headed. The world is headed in many other directions at this point. A business could do it. Theoretically, a business could use crypto to publicly fund an oil pipeline. I would see the project as very risky because obviously governments can say, screw your money, half your pipeline's finished. We're not letting you finish it. Thank you, Soccer. Thank you, man, so much. I'm going to get my day started. I've got a load of editing I needed to do between like 3 different videos right now, and I did a photo shoot yesterday, so I've got to get that all edited up and get it out to the clients. Yeah, I'm going to be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. my time, which is 2 p.m. UTC. And we will do a live stream, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and we'll see if we pushed up quite a bit, if the CME gap really kind of sucked us up towards 60,000. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if we started bouncing around 60,000 again. I think we've got a lot of headroom to do that right now, and I think we've got a lot of headroom to push up past 70 at this point. So, yeah, get ready for the races, guys, because this is going to be a great month. May is always, like April was a good month. May is generally a very good month. So without further ado, enjoy your days. Take care of yourself. If you haven't subscribed to the stream yet, please subscribe. If you haven't smashed up the like button, smash up the like button. If you haven't told me whether you're eating an egg, sausage, cheese, biscuit for breakfast, go off and drop that into the comments. We'll get engagement up. We'll get a bunch of people on here. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have our own thing. Very low FUD, very no used car salesman sounding stuff, because this is a legitimate market. And yeah, so there you go. Enjoy your day. Thanks for joining me for Sunday service.